Hello everyone, Peter Isesele here. So in this video, I'm going to be going straight onto my computer to show you the step-by-step process on how to apply for study permit at the comfort of your home, as far as you have a printer, a scanner, because you need to upload some documents. So let's go straight onto my computer and I will show you how to apply for your study permit in Canada. Okay, let's go there. So let's go right there and see. So when you go to CIC login, and then you click on the website link. So you can, if you don't have an account, you click on register, and then it tells you, how to register. So you click on register with GC key, and then you register with whatever name that you want to. Depends on your name, username. You create a password, and if you're new, you can click on sign up here, and then it tells you accept terms and conditions. Then you have to create a username. Depends on whatever you want to choose that work for you. Let's say for a test account here, I'm just going to use I already have GradNext. So maybe GradNext want to, as the case may be. Depends on you, right? So depends on what your password is. You can choose a particular password that works for you, and then you confirm that password. And then there are a couple of other recovery questions that it will ask you to to fill in. So just fill in all of these recovery questions, and then it will kind of link you to the other page. Because I've done it before, I'm just going to use the account that I created to log in. I already have my account. Then I log in, and then accept terms and conditions. So it can ask you for your middle name, so you can put in your middle name as the case may be. So you always have validation of your account. Depends on whatever name, whatever thing that they decide to use, right? So this is just a test account, it's GradNext mentorship. So this is for immigration, and then for studies, right? So you can go ahead and click on, I already just started an application. I'm just going to delete this so that I will start up a new application. I will just, practicing with it before this video. So don't worry about that. We'll start up a new application. So you can see here, apply to come to Canada. So apply to come to Canada. If you've already filled in there's a form you can fill in, and it gives you a personal reference code. The form is basically asking you questions, right? So, but if you don't have that, you say, I don't have a personal reference code, and then go to visit visa or study. And then they can ask you some questions. So this is where they want to determine your eligibility, right? So the first thing you need to do is, would you like to come to Canada for study? How long are you planning to stay? Well, it's temporarily and it's more than 6 months. Then which code that matches your passport, right? So this is where they ask for the country, right? I'll just click on Nigeria. So you can so you can check whichever one country that applies to you. Then what's the country of your residence, right? So if you are in another country, then you should put there. If you're at Canada, you should put there. Let's say I put in there that I am in Nigeria. Okay, do you have family member who is a citizen or permanent resident? If you don't have any, then you just click on no. What is your date of birth? I'll just use a demo, date of birth here. Make sure all of these information you're filling are correct, because some of these ones are really it's not really things you can change whenever you like. So make sure whatever information you're filling here are actually correct, and then you click on next. So when you click on next, so the next page is going to come up. And then here you're still going to fill in some more questionnaires, right? So are you a lawful permanent resident of Canada? No. Then have you been accepted into a designated learning institute? If you've been accepted, of course, you should have been accepted before. If not, you will not be. If you click on no here, it should tell you that you are not eligible. So let's click on yes, and then click on next. What is your marital status? If you're married, you click on married. Then if you are not married, if you're single, you can just put in, never married or single, right? So let's use never married. And what is your province of destination? So it depends on where your if your university is in Alberta or it's in Toronto, then it means it's in Ontario, right? So you can click on let's say for the purpose of this video, I click on Alberta. And then the next thing is, you see now, based on the questions that I have answered, they've said now that I am eligible to apply for a study permit. So if I click on continue, it's going to now, tell me, oh, I'm eligible to apply for study permit. And then these are some of the things that I now need to do in order to apply for study permit. So they said there are a couple of questions that they need to that you need to there are some documents, right? So if I click on continue, and then do you have a valid work permit or study permit? So if this is your first time, then you can just say no, right? Except you've already had a study permit, you are doing extension, then you can say, oh, I have a study permit, I have a work permit for now. If this is your first time, then you just click on no and then go to next. So some other questions that you also need to answer: are you an esteemed student? If you are, you click on yes. If you are not, you click on no. Then is work an essential component? This is basically if you have your program has a co-op, right? If it has a co-op, then it's going to be yes. If there is no co-op, then it's going to be no. So if I click on, okay, let's click on no, but depends on your situation, right? So make sure you check your program to see if it has a work component on it. And if you're not clear of anything, this arrow sign, it just tells you what that particular thing means. And then the next thing is, you a spouse or common law partner of a child or certain, full-time international student, So if it is the first time you don't have anybody in Canada, then you can say no to this. Okay. Then are you a recipient of Commonwealth Scholarship, full bursary? Depends on, depends on the type of scholarship. There are different scholarships, right? Then a participant in Canadian Aid Program. So if you belong to that category, you are going to know from your admission letter and from your communication with the school. Then in this case, you click on no, then it tells us to go next. Are you accompany a family member that has a status in Canada or has recently approved to Canada? That is, you have a spouse that is, already in Canada or has just had his or study permit approved, and then you want to now apply for your work permit, as the case may be, right? So in this case, I would say no, especially when you're applying first time, nobody yet. And then you click on next. Okay, let's see what the next question is. So just make sure you understand this question. If you are not clear, you can always use this arrow sign to this question mark to know exactly what that means. Have you never become convicted? You click on no. These questions are important because if you give false information, it can even result to visa denial. So you have to be very careful with that. Have you had the medical exam? If you've had upfront, you click on yes. If you've not had upfront medicals, you click on no. Then click on next. Then have you visited or lived in any of the designated countries for 6 months? Then they can see you. If you are not sure, you can check the list of the designated countries here. Then if you haven't lived there, you just click on no. Click on no and go to next. Do you want to submit an application for a family member? So this one is when you have, let's say you want to apply along with your spouse, then you can include that you are applying along with a family member. But if you are not applying for a spouse, then you can just click that you're not applying along with a family member, right? So in this case, I'll click on no. But if you're including your spouse, just put in that you are submitting an application alone, because you can apply for study permit, and at the same time also apply for work permit for your spouse as well. And then click on next. Then it's are you giving someone access to application? So if you have a representative, you can click on yes. So if there is no representation, you are doing everything by yourself, then you are not giving anybody access to the application. Then you can click on next. All right. So in the past 10 years, have you given your fingerprint for biometrics? If this is your first time, you click on no. Then if you've done biometrics before, it will also tell you, okay, that is it. You don't need to do biometrics again. There are fees associated. How do you want to pay? I will pay. There are some, maybe situations where people are exempt from application fee, but most people pay. So most likely you say that you are going to pay. And then are you able to make digital copies? So that's why I say if you're applying yourself, make sure you have a scanner or a camera, to scan your documents, or something to take, put up pictures of the things you want to apply for. So I say we have this ready. Then I click on next. Let's see what is the next. So this it's a little bit of time consuming, but when you answer this, you're not going to be answering them every time. How do you want to pay? You can either use Visa or debit card, different kinds of option, Then you click on next. So make sure you review these answers to make sure that they are correct, because you don't want to be editing, as you go. What do you like to study? How long are you planning to stay in Canada? You select your country. Do you have any family member? What is your date of birth? Are you a citizen of the United States? No. Have you been accepted? Yes. Marital status, not married. I'm going to a better. Do you have a valid work permit? No. As a student, no. Are you an essential? That's work corp, right? Then a recipient of scholarship, and then it's your spouse, following you to, you can always edit here, I think there's an edit sign, so you can always edit at this point, but make sure that they are correct. You don't want to be editing all the time. Do you want to submit for a family member? No. Make sure everything is correct. If it's correct, click on continue. So yeah, it tells you what and what to do, right? Step one is to, you have to be logged in. Everybody's account is peculiar to them, right? And then you have to make sure you always save your application, and then you have to upload your documents. It gives you make sure you read every single line, especially when you are doing it yourself, so that you know that everything you're doing is correct. Then next needs to pay your application fee. So it takes you to this point. This is really now where you know what documents you need to apply. So so these are some of the forms that you need to fill, and the things that you need to upload. For example, if you go up, this application for study permit, if you click on this, it's going to show you this form. So it's not going to open, and you have to download the form. When you download it, then it's going to open up for you, right? And then you can open up the form as the case may be. Okay, you download that and then you fill in that. I can do a separate video on how to fill that particular form, but it's pretty straightforward question, your name, passport and all of these things. You fill that. After filling it, you click on upload. And then your passport, if you're not clear, you can always see instructions, right? Your passport must have, date of birth, document number, photo, and expiring date and everything. So always click on that, question mark sign, if symbol, sorry, if you're not sure of the question, and then the letter of acceptance that you got from the university that you wanted to apply for. You can also click on that and upload that, proof of means of financial support, right? If you had scholarship, and also if, let's say, your parents or your relation, you have or any other person that are supporting your application, you can also upload those ones here. Digital photo, there is a specific instruction on the type of passport photograph that you need to upload, like a normal passport, not your international passport, just a normal passport photograph. So there is a specific instruction. And if you go to some photographers and tell them you want to snap, a digital photo for Canadian immigration, they mostly know the size, but if they are not sure, you can tell them the size. And then family information, everything required there is compulsory. You have to upload them. And then there are some other optional documents that you need to apply for. You need to fill in, for example, in application of temporary resident made outside of Canada, you can click on this, like I did before, it might not open here. So you download the form, and then after downloading the form, you can then, apply, fill the form and then apply. So client information. So the client information is basically where any other thing, right? More information. For example, here you can attach your letter of explanation. And then I've already done a video separately. You can check the link in the description. I did a letter on some of the things on how to write an effective letter of explanation. And then when you write that, you have your biometrics fee, and then the study permit fee. It might change, for this is at now, depends on the time when the video was done. When you've done everything, then it's going to tell you next, right? So it's because I have not, uploaded all of my documents here. That is why it's not telling me the option to go next. So when you've uploaded all your documents, make sure you check them over and over again, because you might not have another chance to explain things to them, right? So make sure you do it the best time, the first time. If you have any question, you can always click on this. How can I save my application? How do I upload the document? If it's too large, you have to reduce the size, because there is a maximum size, there's a maximum size for each document, right? So when you do that, the next thing is to do your payment, and then boom, you've submitted your application, and that is it. It is as simple as that. Okay, thank everyone for watching that video. I hope you've learned how to apply for study permit. Is it difficult? No, it's not really difficult, but because we just see it from afar, we usually think it's difficult. It's not really that difficult, so these are the ways to apply for study permit. So if you have a specific question in any of the part, please leave the question in the comment section, and I will try to address your question as quickly as possible. Once again, thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, click on the like button, leave a comment on the things you learned, the things that are not clear, and then share with your friends. Tell them about this channel, tell them about Peter SSL channel, because here we talk about everything that has to do with coming to Canada, succeeding in grad school. And if there are specific things you want me to talk about, also leave it in the comment section, and I'll also address it. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next video.